It is Kirsten Liebelt. How are you today? How are you? It's Wednesday. I always say, halfway through the week, how are you doing? Check yourself, right? Like, how are we doing? It's really kind of like, it's helpful to know. I don't know. This is what I think is helpful to know in my own, insulin resistance journey, et cetera, and like trading out my foods. Never thought I could because I'm Italian. Knowing that you don't have to fix everything all at once. Isn't that like really good news? Like, don't you want to hear that? Like, I was never going to be the, I'm going on a diet on Monday and it actually worked ever. It worked never. 10 out of 10, not recommend. Okay. So if you do not know anything about like my content or who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt. Put a 1 in the comments. If you have never seen my face before, I would love to know. If you're on the replay, let me know where you're coming in from. I love knowing people on the replay and where you're coming in from. And TikTok, I wore black today so that I could see your comments. So this is really good news. So come on in from the balcony. Today we're going to talk again about insulin resistance. We do this every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if that's something that you need in your life or you want to share it with a friend or buddy up with a friend, please press the like button, press the subscribe button, share out the information. Let's do this. This show that we've been doing, you guys, we've been doing this for over a year. I think it was February of 2024 when we started. I think it was. All of those lives are starting to get deleted now off of Facebook. So it is what it is. If you ever want to see any of these replays and go all the way back, go to YouTube because I streamed them at the same time. I didn't even know what I was doing, and I'm glad that I did. But anyway, good morning, Claudette. Good morning, Patty. So today's topic, you guys, if I had to reverse my insulin resistance all over again, the 4 steps that I would take. Okay, so if that is of interest to you, stick around. We're just going to hang out for a minute. Housekeeping would be that today in the group, I realized that I could do this yesterday. I wasn't even thinking. Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women is the name of the group. And we do a 5-day insulin resistant reset challenge every single month. Every single month. You can take 1 or 2 nuggets and you can apply them in that month. And then don't be mean or hard to yourself that you weren't perfect. That's BS. Don't live like that. We'll do another challenge in June. And then you guys come back and you tell me, this is my 10th one. This is my 13th one. This is my 16th one, which means you've been consistently working on you for 16 months. Isn't that a track to run on? Oh my gosh, you guys, that's like the beauty of what we do. So I teach 2 things and 2 things only. I teach targeted top supplements, very specifically targeted for insulin resistance and food ingredient trade-outs. Okay, last thing, and then we're going to jump in. I found out today that on my Instagram, I started a little subscriber thing so that I could get content in front of people. It's like 99 cents a month. You can do it for free right now. It doesn't matter. The button isn't working. So if you want some behind the scenes food stuff, if you want my food stuff, that's where you're going to find that. And you have to hit the button twice, apparently. My husband is my helper, and he decided to help me with that information. So there you go. So there's the name of the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Jump in. Terry, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to see you. All right, here we go, you guys. This has received, there's so many, how do I say this? People want to know what you've done, because I think inside of ourselves, we actually do know and understand that if you can do what somebody else did, you can get what they got. So don't take advice from people who are not where you want to be, not spiritually, maritally, emotionally, financially, physically. A super obvious maybe recommendation would be if you have a very obese physician who is trying to tell you how to deal with your insulin resistance, might not be a good source. It's just my opinion. I'm just saying, really? Right? So we have to take advice from people who are where you want to be, but that's in every area of your life. So these are the 4 things that I would do. And I hope this really does help you out. Yesterday, let's see, on Monday, we did the behind the scenes of insulin resistance and my background. And then yesterday we did ingredient trade outs, and today we're going to do the pantry and the fridge reveal in the group. And the reason why is because it actually took me a journey to get here. So if I share that with you and you do what I did, you can get there too. So I feel like I have something in my tooth. Hold on just a second. I'm going to go check my tooth. I'll take you with me, Instagram. Okay, perfect. Let's see, how many grams of protein did I have for breakfast this morning? I had 18 plus 13. So whatever that is, that's how many grams of protein I had for breakfast. Eggs and a chicken sausage. Okay. I know you wanted to know that because seriously, like focus on protein. So if you're overwhelmed because you just got diagnosed with insulin resistance, like this is a for real thing with you guys, right? Or maybe you just know something is off because of that stubborn belly fat and constant fatigue. This is where I've been. I've so been here, you guys. My dad was type 2 insulin dependent, dead at 63. Like this is my most authentic story that I can share with you and a piece of my own universe. So if I could go back in time and do it all over again, I would start with these 4 steps. Not only did they work, but they restored my health in ways that most people don't even talk about. And this is 100% true. I feel like I'm living as function and the color came back. I have function and the color came back. And I get to do all of the things that I love to do, like with my grandbabies. Going to go over there again today and get down on the floor with them. And that there's nothing more important to me than my family. So anyway, and I do this for my family. We talked about that a little yesterday. So I do remember feeling like I had no control over my body. Like, I don't know if you guys are there or if you've been there and now you're on your way out of that, but I felt like I had no control over my body. I looked in the mirror and I literally didn't recognize myself. You can see it on TikTok. I put up my before and after. I was a 2X when I entered my 50s. And I was tired all the time. My cravings were out of control, which made me feel like I internalized that as not a bad person, but as an undisciplined, I don't want to use the word loser because I never thought I was a loser for sure, but just, it gave me license to be mean to me. Okay. Like, oh, you're so undisciplined. Geez, you don't have any willpower. Like, what's wrong with you? That kind of stuff. Okay. So that's what that felt like when my cravings were out of control and I was stuck in a loop of guilt and confusion. I do not know if that resonates with anybody here today, but guilt and confusion. I'm just telling you, I didn't even know what insulin resistance was. But once I understood it and how to support my body at the cellular level, everything began to shift. So you guys, we're doing it differently over here on this channel. Somebody else might be like, there might be band-aids that are out there to help, but I want to help you from the inside out at the very deepest part of you, like cellular level out, okay? Because this is long lasting. If I can teach you how to fish, then 5 years from now, you're going to be like, I wonder whatever happened to that Kirsten lady. She really taught me like how to do things for the rest of my life. That's where we're going. I'm interested in you 5 years from now. Actually, it'll happen faster than that. It'll be 1 year from now. Like, where will you be in May of 2026? Just saying. Health, size, meds. Maybe they're all gone. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just telling you, like, we can do this. Okay. So cellular level, that's when everything began to shift. So step number 1 is, I did not do it in this order, and not everybody does. A lot of people do what I did, meaning I started with supplements first, but food ingredient trade outs. You have to trade out your food ingredients. There is no conversation on this. Any plan that is telling you you can still eat what you want when you want, in my opinion, they are selling you up a river because you might get short-term results, but it's not long-term because your body is a scientific, it's a biological process. Like when you spike your sugar, your body calls on insulin. If your insulin can't get the sugar into your blood for energy, and you're because your cell is closed and it's closed for business, and then now it's going to like create inflammation and it's going to store fat. I mean, this is just like This is follow the river. Like, God created your body to function a certain way. We have to stop trying to tell it to function a different way. No, don't do it that way. I'm going to tell you how to do it. Well, okay, good luck. I'm just saying, we got to follow the way that like things actually work inside of our bodies. So this is the first step. And here's why. Every bite of food is either calming your blood sugar or it is triggering chaos in your system. This is just reality. So you're not in deprivation mode. You are not depriving yourself. You are not, what's my word? You're not punishing yourself. You're literally just trading out the ingredients to the foods that you already love. I'm just telling you, like, this is way better than you think it is. Okay. This is way better. But what most people don't know is that insulin resistance often begins in the gut. So the wrong oils like seed oils, processed flours, hidden sugars, they inflame the lining of your gut and they throw off your microbiome. And that is causing a ripple effect that leads to poor nutrient absorption, hormone imbalances. Insulin is a hormone. Cortisol is a hormone. GLP-1 is a hormone. Okay, get it? And yes, insulin spikes. So food isn't just fuel, it's information for your cells. But if it can't get into your cells because they're closed for business, because you are resistant, your cell is resistant. How are you supposed to get the information into your cell? Okay. So when I traded my ingredients, my cravings went down, my bloating reduced, my energy came back, like things happen that are really good. Now I had to tweak things as I went. There's no question. Tweaking is going to happen because we have a lot of misinformation on how to actually do this well. But when done properly, you can actually position your body to become like a fat burning machine. This is how I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. I actually did not know I could trade out my food. So I started with supplementation because I needed my food noise to calm down. I did this a little over 10 years ago, very similarly to how people are doing it with the OZ. Got it? So where they're like, I need help, that's what the supplementation can do for you. FYI. That is actually where I started. But number 2, I would get it. I'm telling you how I would maybe whatever. These are 4 things that I feel like are just super important to trading out. The second thing is, you know what? They weren't talking about it a lot and it wasn't readily available 10 years ago, but I would get a continuous glucose monitor because it's going to help you to have less confusion because we've been marketed to so strongly that we actually think whole grain bread is healthy for an insulin resistant person or that keto bread actually exists. But if you had a continuous glucose monitor, you could know the truth. So it shows you what your blood sugar response is to your food in real time. But here's what most people don't talk about. It also reveals your body's stress response. Super interesting. That means that even if you're eating something healthy, if your glucose spikes high and crashes, your body sees it as a threat. That crash is what's draining your energy. It's triggering your cravings. And it's fueling your belly fat storage. This is why I teach sugar, grain, and legume free. You can cut corners, man. Like you can really compress your time on what's going on by understanding what happens to your body when you put certain foods into your mouth. So it's not just what you eat, it's how your body responds to what you eat. Continuous glucose monitors remove the mystery and give you biofeedback for better choices. Does that make sense? Good morning, Linda. Good to see you. Terry. I think I said good morning, Terry. I think I did. I don't remember now. Okay. Prioritize your sleep. Oh, you guys. So, when I talked to you guys about targeted supplementation, we had a really amazing launch back in March. And it was the magnesium that I'd been waiting for. I had been using a magnesium from another line for, I think, 2 years. And I really liked it. And I was concerned, whether or not I was going to like this one. Well, I just reminded me again this morning that since I started taking the magnesium from March until now, the middle of March or the end of March until now. So, because this has to do with sleep. My husband, who is in radio, he's been in Christian radio for like 40 years. because he's so mobile in what he does, he gets up very early in the morning and he just comes out into this kitchen area right behind me. Like his office is like right there, right behind me. And he will do his weather forecasts and do his morning stuff, whatever, very early in the morning. So it would be my bedroom is very close by. It's not very far. So it would be common in the past for me to wake up, hear that he is up doing stuff, not really like waking up and then not being able to go back to sleep, although that has happened before. This is prior to switching my magnesium out. And I was kind of in that cycle of maybe I would just hear a little something, like not really hear him, but my body was alerted. How does that sound? So then I'd get up and I'd use the restroom, blah, blah, blah. Since I started switching out my magnesium and I'm also taking ashwagandha, these are two things you can talk to me about. I have a phenomenal magnesium and a phenomenal ashwagandha if you need to fix your sleep. And I take them both at night before I go to bed. And I haven't woken up like that since I switched. So I'm really loving the switch. But my point in that is that when you take the right kind of magnesium for sleep, I am telling you what, there are certain things that are so helpful for somebody who is insulin resistant. Magnesium is one of them. We'll talk about a couple of other ones here too today, just so that you can know. You don't have to take every supplement on the face of the planet. You don't have to take every supplement that your girlfriend is taking or Facebook ad that you're seeing. You can target everything towards you and your insulin resistance. I hope that makes sense and helps a little bit. So insulin resistance and poor sleep, they actually go hand in hand. And the connection runs deeper than most people think. So during deep sleep, your body performs, listen to this, you guys, it performs glucose housekeeping, resetting your insulin sensitivity for the next day. Do you guys hear me on this? Do you understand how important it is for you to get sleep? God, it's so important. If you are sleep deprived, your body doesn't get the chance to balance cortisol, which in turn raises your fasting glucose levels. So you know how you go to the doctor and you have your fasting glucose done, et cetera, or maybe you're taking your own because you have a continuous glucose monitor, or you are taking your own blood or whatever, and you're like, oh, I can't get those morning sugars down. You have to fix your sleep. 2025 is the year of sleep. Let's figure this out. This is so important. And here's something no one talks about, that your liver detoxes overnight. How much more can I tell you guys to love your liver? How many more ways can I say it? How many more languages? I only know one language, you guys. I only know one language to say, love your liver. Maybe I have to learn it in different languages. I'm just saying, like, your liver, it's so important. I'll give you some practical application today. If you are not getting into deep, uninterrupted sleep, your liver can't properly clear out excess estrogen or toxins, which are often triggers for insulin resistance. Bum, bum, bum. This is why I never skip my ashwagandha or my magnesium, because it helps me lower cortisol and it literally gets me into restorative, you guys. Like, it's kind of like a fat burning sleep, because your body can work for you. You need to have cellular renewal. And we just started to live in this culture that's a real hustle culture. And, maybe we're told like we should be able to live on less sleep, but do more and all this stuff. And we're running around. And when you already have a foggy brain from insulin resistance, when you're already exhausted because you're spiking and you're crashing and you're spiking and you're crashing, like, this is very unhealthy for us. And isn't it good to know that if you can just hone in on one thing, you can make such a huge difference in the rest of your life? Because if you don't get the sleep you need, really good restorative sleep, your insulin resistance and your cortisol, they're both up the next day. Such a big deal, okay? So that's step number 3. Step number 4, this is where we're going to talk about supplementation just a tiny bit. But the reason why is because Jody, Oh, thoughts on CPAP? Oh boy, Jody. Hi, Lorette. Long time no see. Good to see you. Good to see you. Jody is asking me what are my thoughts on a CPAP. I think that a CPAP. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you about it from the perspective of a medical provider. I have never studied CPAP. I've never had one. I don't have a husband who has one. I don't. I have only heard about them. Maybe I've seen one once because of a friend's husband. It's not in my wheelhouse of understanding. I understand it's helping the airways. Probably the CPAP is very beneficial and helpful for people. Like they need help, right? However, what I'm going to say is anytime you have something in your body that's not functioning right, it's telling you about a root cause. So if you have indigestion, that's not normal. You need to fix why you have indigestion. And I'm going to tell you right now, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. The base of every single thing I'm going to talk about right now is insulin resistance. We have to stop thinking that this is a mountainous, so many things could possibly be wrong. How do we possibly understand how to get control? No. Shh. One conversation, insulin resistance. And they are not talking to you about it. So thank you so much for liking the live and gifting me things. Logan, thank you for joining. Good to see you. Excellent. This is about insulin resistance. Insulin resistance and things that I would do to turn back my insulin resistance again if I was to do it all over again. Because I started in my upper 40s, I turned it back around. I lost 3 sizes. I'm the only person in my family to have avoided type 2 diabetes. My immediate family. I'm the only person who is I'm 60. I'm not on any medications. I was raised in an Italian family with massive amounts of obesity and type 2 diabetes. I should have never, ever been the one that avoided type 2 diabetes. I was talking to my son-in-law last night and I go, I'm kind of a big deal. And of course I didn't mean I'm a big deal in any other way other than I'm kind of an anomaly. Like I was gestational diabetic with my first baby. Sign me up. I should have been the type 2%. Hello. How have I completely avoided it? So I'm talking about the 4 steps that I would take if I was to turn back around my insulin resistance. So when it comes to the whole CPAP thing, if you are not sleeping at night and you are having issues with sleeping, why? Don't just settle on a fix. You got to find out what to fix. Take the axe and get to the root of the tree. And I guarantee you, when you turn back around your insulin resistance, the meds you can get off of, the way your body can actually function, the way you can sleep, the way you have energy, the way you have mental clarity, the way you are able to dump fat, the way you are able to not ache. I'm 60. I wake up. I do not ache in my joints. I don't ache. I can get on the floor with my grandbabies. I can travel without swollen ankles. Let's see, what else can I do? I always feel like the sky is the freaking limit, but I would assume that a CPAP is helping somebody, but there's a deeper conversation to have. And so I would address the insulin resistance. I would never, ever, this is me, I would never in a bazillion years settle for I'm going to sleep the rest of my life with a machine on my face if I have any control over it. That's just me. So apparently I had an opinion on that. So, but thank you for asking, because seriously, this is how we have to think. For some reason, we have bought hook, line, and sinker that our life is supposed to have function that goes downhill. Well, honey, you're just getting older. It's just the way your metabolism is. Your metabolism is slower. You're just going to ache a little. Those aches and pains, they're normal. Indigestion, it's kind of normal. I mean, we just kind of do not make as many digestive enzymes anymore. And so you're just going to have to live with the craziness, live with the belly fat, live with the bigger hips, live with the high blood pressure, that's a bunch of BS. They just sold it to us and we went, okay, that sounds good. No. I have no interest in spending my life at doctor's appointments and picking up prescriptions and then living out the fallout of the side effects of the prescriptions. And this hit me the hardest when, and then I'll share with you the supplements. Hit me the hardest when I was taking care of my mother, dementia. We took care of her, my sister and I did, for 5 years. She just died 2 years ago. So the last 5 years of her life, so 7 years ago, we start taking care of her. And I'm taking her, we're doing it all. We're literally doing it all. We're doing the showers, we're doing everything. And so I'm taking her to the doctor, and I'm also taking her to like Costco and Culver's and everywhere, right? Like, this is my life. And she's having bathroom issues, if you know what I mean. Now, this is no easy feat, because when you have dementia, and if you have an accident, let's say in a public restroom, and things are escalating, and this is very hard, your brain can't handle that when you have Alzheimer's. Like, that is, she will be in bed the next day for the whole day, because it was so overwhelming to her, whatever, her cognitive abilities to understand what just happened. So this is happening, and I'm, we're having episodes, and I'm trying to like mitigate these episodes. And I take her to the doctor, and I go, okay, I need help. She's living on, what was the over-the-counter that we gave her? You guys would maybe know. I think it started with a D. I don't remember now. I think I've put it out of my brain. Anyway, we had to give her an anti-diarrheal, and it was a little pill. And I said, this is what's going on. And without any like, oh yeah, he went, oh yeah, no, that's just the Met. And the name, the rest of the name. I don't want to say the whole name here. I go, excuse me? Oh yeah, that's normal. That's just the Met. I'm like, well, that ain't going to be normal in my life. I'm the one taking care of her, and this is ridiculous. Like, this is really hard on her. This is not going to, no. We'll be changing that or taking her off of something. So he changed it. I'm like, I can't even believe that we are so lackadaisical about a side effect. Like, are you freaking kidding me right now? And you're not going to give me any answer? Like, this was so ridiculous to my brain. I couldn't handle it. So he changes things, whatever. They don't really resolve, but we get things under control because of an anti-diarrheal, blah, 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 blah. When the shutdown happened and we took her out of assisted living, because we were like, nope, not going to work for us. We saw the writing on the wall, and everything we thought was going to happen happened. We saw it, my sister and I did. So we took her out. She went and lived with my sister, and we literally took her off of almost, like, you're done. You're done. We're going to change your diet. We're going to change the way we're doing things with you. We are now in control of what you're eating. And we brought her A1C down. We did like amazing, because we had some understanding of how to do this, right? Well, one of the things that we were able to do was to really incorporate supplemental help for her to get her body to function a little better at a cellular level. Now, she was 90, she was like 90 at the time. So it's not like we were able to really, like fix everything. There was no coming back from the level of dementia that she had, but we were able to give her quality of life with her family while she was alive. But we have to make these decisions so that we don't have to live on meds all the time. So there are some things that you can do. And I do have things that are in my line. If you want to talk to me, you don't have to get them from me, but make sure that you are buying high quality supplementation. Okay. So for instance, vitamin D3 and K2, this is huge. I don't think people understand how important D3 and K2 is. So it literally helps to shell calcium out of your tissues, which is helping you to reduce inflammation. And if you're insulin resistant and you're on my content, you have high inflammation. So we need to reduce that. And it puts it into your bones. And plus it improves your insulin receptor sensitivity. Your insulin receptor sensitivity. So this would be my advice. Do not get a synthetic D3K2. The one that I have is very inexpensive, like 30 cents a day, but it's sourced from mushrooms. So I'm just giving you an understanding, like organic mushrooms. So you can make a better choice, and it's not going to cost you more. So just be mindful that there are better options out there. Okay. Next one would be a wild caught omega-3. reduces inflammation at the cell membrane level, making your cells more responsive to insulin. Now, I understand that there's a lot of controversy over fish oils, et cetera. That's because they're done like trash. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, if you're not going to eat farmed fish because you know the dangers of that or the bad like ramifications of that, if you're not going to put that in your fridge or freezer, then don't do it in your supplement. You want wild caught supplements. It just goes to make sense, right? So again, you can always reach out to me. I have a really, really good wild caught omega. But then you can also help when it comes to like your cellular functioning with using trace minerals. Now, I know a lot of people do berberine, et cetera. I actually don't know anything about berberine in the terms of when I started a little over 10 years ago, that was not a hot topic. Nobody was talking about it or using it. So I've always talked about the trio, the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. And the reason why that is because oh, Jody, that's wonderful. I just read your comment. That's your goal. I love that, Jody. See, you can make your own like resolutions. I love that. But using targeted supplementation so that you can get your body functioning at a higher level from your cells, from your liver, like there are actual pieces to this puzzle. So everybody who ever talks to me about like the trio, or you hear me talking about the trio, let me just tell you where to get testimonials. And the reason why I say that is because you don't have to take my word for anything. You really, really don't. Like, I'm not even encouraging you to be like, you need to really just listen to me. No, you need to listen, if you really want to know, to the results of the other people. Because instead of Band-Aids, let's get your liver to function at a higher level so that you can actually metabolize fat in your body. Let's get your metabolism up. Let's get your insulin to come down, your sugars to come down. That's how you can get your body to function again. So I actually have a lot of testimonies. And if you're on any of my socials and you go to my website is kirstenliebelt.com. My first last name .com. I just want to show this to you so that you have a grid of what I'm talking about. Okay. So you'll see my picture, etc. And right now the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th button right there. This is the first button, this big button right there. This has testimonies for the trio. The trio is right above it, but here are the testimonies. Just listen though, if you do want to purchase the trio, make sure you register for your account with your name. Please do that, because then you can get like registered customer benefits. Don't check out as a guest and miss out on benefits that you can be getting. But this is a Google sheet, and these are trio testimonies. So if you are somebody, that's your personality where you need to see the testimonies, that's where you can find them. You can also go to the top of my Instagram page, and there are highlight bubbles for trio testimonies. Those would also be very helpful to you. But again, I just want you to know that the trio is the mainstay of what I talk about literally every single day. But do you remember what he talked about when he was, do you remember what I was talking about when I was thinking about another piece of content. When I was talking about how this is affecting your gut, because leaky gut is created by insulin resistance. And that is something that most people don't know. And so we kind of live inside of this cycle. And so I always tell people, listen, if you want to do something with your gut, I have a gut primer and a probiotic that will literally change the way your impacted waste is moving through your body, and it will increase your liver function by a lot. It really increases your liver function. Super important. Like, if you only understood what your liver did, you would be like all in on helping your liver. So there's a piece in the trio. The gut primer is another one. This is a powder. It looks like a green powder, right? Smells like tea. I take 1 scoop. I already did mine this morning. Cold water out of my fridge, and I take it like a shot. Has 6 products in one. That the testimonies from this, phenomenal, from both sides of the conversation, meaning somebody who has been constipated, somebody who has had diarrhea a lot, because you are recalibrating your gut. So you may not have a gallbladder and you really need that help with your liver. You may have constipation and you don't know what to do about that, and you're tired of taking over-the-counter stool softeners because you're getting your body used to needing help like that. Well, I'm just going to be super duper uber real with you right now. That is not helpful for when you are older. I'm just telling you, having taken care of my mother and all of the functions that we had to do for 5 years with her Alzheimer's, those are not real answers. So we had to get real answers for her. But nonetheless, a gut reset, this is a gut reset protocol, a probiotic that's alive that you can put on your tongue, alive, you want live strains in the billions, and a gut primer, not just a greens product. That is going to recalibrate your gut like probably you've never done before. I'm going to really venture to guess that you might not have done that kind of 6 different blends before to help you to function at a higher level. Your gut is connected to your brain. It's connected to your dopamine, your serotonin, your nutrient absorption, your insulin resistance, your liver function, like it goes on and on and on. And then the last piece that I talk about every day is the fat burner. This is an orange pixie stick. It tastes like candy. It targets your visceral fat. So if you've been told you have fatty liver, you've been told that you have visceral fat in general, like you've done body scans, in-body scans, etc. This is like you put it on your tongue once a day for 90 days. Measure your waist, measure under your bra, your waist, and your hips when you start. 1 box is a month. Measure yourself under your bra, your waist, and your hips, because in 90 days, inches go away. And it's because it's almost like it's from the inside out. It's just like this. Now, this is marketed for sports nutrition. So it's marketed as, it's a clinical dose of an extract. It's marketed as something to enhance your workout. Okay. But the truth is that it's targeting your visceral fat and helping your BMI. So if you know you need help with your BMI, this is the best by far product I've ever seen to hit the market to help this. This is kind of crazy because you can't make claims, right? You have to be so careful. And when you're a big brand, you will never sacrifice your brand for a claim that you can get called on the carpet for. I always say that, like with the turmeric that I take from the same line, they say that it helps with aches and pains. They actually say the P word on the bottle from exercising. You can't throw that word around. You have to be so careful. But again, they won't sacrifice their brand to say the word pain. But I'm telling you, when they do, then we know that it's going to deliver. And it does. It's amazing. That's a side note. So my point being that if there are those types of things, your insulin resistance, it's all together. It's all tied. Everything that I talk to you about is all connected to insulin resistance. Not one thing that I talk to you about does not connect, because that's not how I want my content to present itself. Everything is all like this. And some people are like, I need to understand everything. And some people are like, I want to try this, or I want to try it. Perfect. Everybody's situation is a little different. But I will tell you, this is a one-stop insulin resistance conversation, from food to targeted supplementation to support to encouragement to resourcing. Literally, it's a one-stop conversation place to like pause and get resourced and be connected in. So they do all connect for you, Jody. Yes, I know. And it's hard to, I feel like the hardest piece, and I'll end with this today. I feel like the hardest piece is that when you go to the medical community, they have everything so siloed off that you go to one doctor for one thing, like maybe you're going to the GI doctor because you have indigestion, but you're going to the endocrinologist for your type 2 diabetes, but you're going to the, let's see, what other kind of doctor would you go to? A lot of different ones, but you're going to different doctors. You're going to a cardiologist for your heart and your high blood pressure, but then you're going to this is absolutely insanity. That's why functional medicine is on the rise. It's on the rise. And so what's happening is they're either going to a functional medical doctor, which will talk to you about like how everything connects in its fullness and its wholeness, or people are going over here and they're going to a naturopath, which I love naturopaths. I worked with one. She was amazing. She taught me so much. But I do know that right over here, you are going to pay out of pocket. So you're going to go and you're going to, and a lot of you already have, and then you come to me and you talk to me. I have spent thousands of dollars, and I buy that level of supplementation thinking that that's going to help me or fix me, but that price is so high. Okay. So what if I told you that I can have a lot of the exact same conversations for a different price point? And I will just say this, that the parent company that owns the line that I talk about all the time, they sold it like literally maybe 4 years ago. They also owned the line that was in the clinic that I was working at when I worked with a naturopath. Now it was broader, it was more extensive because they had different levels of nutraceuticals. However, owned by the same company doing organic farming around the world to bring organic formulas to the masses. So I want you to understand what I'm saying. It's kind of like when you go to Costco and you get a Kirkland brand and you're wondering, why is that Kirkland brand taste so good? Because this is what happens. It happens to me all the time. You're going to think I'm crazy, but when I go to Walmart and I buy Great Value actually has really good products sometimes. I haven't tried all of them, of course. But I'm like, who are you repackaging? Now, I'm not saying this is repackaged at all. This is not. This is its own 90-year company. But I'm just telling you, like, just understand that what if there was a way for you to stop spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars because you just kind of took things back to the very basics. And I can explain to you literally, like if somebody wanted to know that everything I just shared, the gut reset with the fat burner and the trio all together, I call that the total reset. I have a 5-minute video I did on it. I have a 5-minute video. If I sent that to you, would you watch it? Would you take 5 minutes to understand? Because that's what I can send you. You can always put reset in the comments and I'll send that to you on Facebook and YouTube. On Instagram, you have to get into my messages, and on TikTok, you got to get into my messages. We actually have to get off of the platform for me to send you something clickable. That's just the way that is. It's probably why I get like in trouble maybe because nobody wants you off their platform. Their goal, everybody's platform, is to keep you on the platform. So they don't want you to leave the platform. So I'm not supposed to tell you that we're going to have to get up. I'm not supposed to say those things. All right. Today at 3:00 Central Standard Time in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Hold on. I can put that up there again, right there. Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women at 3:00 Central Standard Time. I'm going to do a pantry and a refrigerator reveal. It is day 3 of the 5-day challenge. Be there or be square, people. And if you're a guy, or if you are not in the group and you're not a Facebook person, no problemo. I will be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We do this 5 days a week unless I am out of town or it's a holiday. So I will see you tomorrow, you guys. Have such a good day. Make it the best one ever, literally on the face of the planet. Okay? See you later.